So first thing I'm selling is my camera. This is the second camera I've had in my vlogging collection. I left the States at the end of 2015 with all of my belongings fitting into a backpack. Later I moved into a van, and now I'm living in this tiny house that I built with my husband. So at every stage I accumulated a little more stuff because I just had more space. So what I like to do from time to time is just go through all of my belongings and declutter, because if I don't do that, I end up with a bunch of stuff I don't need, and I think it's important to do that often. Just go through your stuff and find things you don't need and just get rid of them. And now, even though we're living in this tiny house for the next few years, it's still very important to me to be able to pick up and move whenever I want. So that means that I can't just keep accumulating stuff to fill this house. I still want to keep it to a minimum, but not take it to the extreme where everything has to fit into a backpack, because living in a van or living in a house, your needs are different, so you will need more stuff depending on your situation. So I'll just run through the few items that I'm going to be selling. I'm going to sell them online on OLX, which is Poland's version of Craigslist. And I think I'll just post everything on there and sell them locally because that's just the easiest. In the States, I used websites like eBay and Facebook to sell all of my stuff, and that happened over a year before I left the States. But once I did that big push and got rid of everything, now it's just every few months or so, we just go through the stuff we have and get rid of things. So first thing I'm selling is my camera, just a Sony Alpha 5000. I really like this camera, but ever since I got the 6400, I just don't use this anymore. So it's time to say goodbye. But it's a nice starter camera if you want to get into vlogging. And of course the flip screen is really nice. You can like look at yourself while you're vlogging. When I first started YouTube, I was using my iPhone, and then I had a little point and shoot Canon briefly. And then I got this when we were living in Spain. But yeah, this has been really nice. And since I've had this camera for several years now, I don't really care how much money I get for it, because like I was vlogging every day at one point and using this hard every single day. So whatever I can get for it is fine. I'll just price it low, and then hopefully someone will just buy it to take it away from me. That's the most important thing, is that just to get rid of the stuff. And obviously I want it to go to a real person. I don't want to just like throw it in a bin. But someone will get good use out of this, I think. Next thing, this is kind of random. It's a bracelet with fruit beads. Jewelry is something I don't buy anymore since I started my minimalism journey. But this was sent to me from an artist on Instagram back when I was doing like crazy food photos with bowls and oatmeal and stuff. So she gave this to me so I could take photos with the bracelet on to kind of promote her page. But I haven't been on Instagram for a long time now. I actually deactivated my account. But these beads are really cool. There's like blueberries and what are these? Cranberries or something? I don't know. And this thing is like, is that Rokitnik?
No.
I have no idea what that is,
yeah.
But they're fruits. If I liked wearing jewelry, I would wear something like this, but it's really just a prop for photos, food photos particularly. Like, I haven't worn this since I stopped taking those types of photos, so I've just been carrying it around. It looks cool, but I have no use for it, so I'm going to post it for free on OLX, and someone will take it, hopefully. I'm also getting rid of 2 dresses. They're hanging up over here. I bought these dresses from a thrift store in Krakow, and I bought several dresses at that time. One of the dresses ended up being my favorite dress. It's like this flowery one. So after I got that dress, these were pretty much obsolete. I've worn the gray one for baking a couple times. The white one I've never worn, so I'm just gonna post them on OLX for free because it really cost me next to nothing at the thrift store. Yeah, so instead of having like 5 dresses, I will have 3 once I get rid of these 2. Last thing, I'm kind of sad to see these go. These are my vegan Docs. I really like these boots. I bought them in Scotland. That was soon after I started traveling full time. They're super comfortable now because they're broken in. But ever since I got my hiking boots, I haven't worn these. I've just been carrying them around. And really, these boots are more of like a fashion statement. They're not as functional as my Salomon hiking boots. So I'm going to sell these. I'm not sure how much I'll ask for them because they're used, but at least they're broken in, so hopefully someone will want them. And these are vegan, so it's vegan fake leather, which is essentially like plastic. So if I had to do it over again, I'm not sure I would buy these. I just wanted them because they're vegan docs and I like the look. But now I would try to find something used. Oh, there's Ica here. But they had a good run. That's from when? Like 2016? Like January 2016 until now.
They still look pretty good. They're
Yeah.
not really worn or anything.
Yeah. They're just nice and broken in now.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, they had this like white powder caked into this part, and that was from the Louvre, because like in the basement of the Louvre, it's like just unfinished stone. So when I went there and I was in Paris, they just got so dusty and I just didn't clean them off. But now they're nice and clean, so they're ready to be sold. We have some other like clunkier things, like we're going to sell our generator and this wardrobe thing that we were hanging clothes on when we were living in the tent, because now that Kuba built a thing in our bathroom, we don't need that hanging wardrobe. But I like going through my stuff from time to time just to get rid of things, because like now it's not a problem to have these few items sitting around, but when we do plan on leaving here, it'll just be way more stressful to get rid of stuff in one go than it is to do it slowly over time. And I like to know exactly what I have. Then it just makes you less likely to buy stuff you don't need if you know what you have already. And for me, like every time I've moved into a different situation, like from the backpack to the van to this tiny house, that means I can have more stuff, but I never take it to the extreme to where I go back to the way I was living before I started minimalism. I never want to go back to that point where I had like several closets full of clothes I didn't wear and shoes and stuff like that. I feel much better just having the stuff that I need and the things that I value in my life instead of just like being super cluttered. It just makes things easier, and I feel like I'm happier not having so many things. And I never view it as like a competition. It's not like I have to get all of my stuff to fit into a backpack again. But if we wanted to travel that way in the future, then that's what I would do. But right now I'm really enjoying having like a home base in this tiny house, because it's nice to have a space.